What up, guys? Welcome to another AMA. I have a different style of AMA for you here today. And what it is, I'm basically going to yap about stuff for 5 minutes. Current stuff I've been doing with my health, product updates, anything I want pretty much for a good 5 minutes. And then we'll dive into the questions that you have left below. So we'll help you with your health. We'll help you with life. Whatever questions you have for me, leave them below and I will get to them. So we went to LA last week. Really fun. The idea was to go film content with Lance and Dylan, which we got a little bit done there. But what I did on the way there is we had 20 tubs of electrolytes here. Keep in mind, guys, I get a lot of products sent to me. Obviously, we have a lot of our own products here, but we don't have millions of electrolytes or whatever, thousands of electrolytes, and we can't really bring those on a flight. And trust me, as we're going through security, maybe we can put some of the footage in here. The security never likes when we have 20 or 30 electrolyte tubs. You are allowed to bring the electrolytes through TSA. You're allowed to bring powders through TSA, a pretty significant amount. I forget the exact amount, but it's equal to many, many tubs of electrolytes. But they always just look at them and scan them and oh my God. So it was whatever. But because we only had 20 tubs, I was I'll just do an Instagram story saying that I'm going to Erewhon, which is a Whole Foods on steroids in LA. It's crazy, bro. Erewhon is insane. It's too much even for me, bro. It's so bougie. It's insane. But they're known for health and wellness, so I was you know what? We'll pull up there and we'll give out 20 tubs of electrolytes. And man, way more than 20 people showed up. There was probably 30, 35 people showed up just off an Instagram story. It was really fun to hang out with everybody. We just sipped some raw milk. I got some steak with chimichurri in Erewhon. It was overpriced. And I'm trying kind of to get my electrolytes into that store, Erewhon. Obviously, Whole Foods is the big goal for me, but Erewhon would be a perfect fit. They sell supplements. They sell electrolytes. They sell liquid IV, so we got to get Santa Cruz Paleo in there. And yeah, Cookie King. We met Cookie King at the airport. If you guys know Cookie King, he's an influencer. He has millions of followers on TikTok. I think he's really big on Twitch or something like that. And he's an 18-year-old kid, and he's so funny, bro. He had us laughing so much the whole trip. And we did all these skits and stuff, which I thought the Cookie King was doing a character that his sleep's so messed up and he only cares about his lizard, but it's not a character, which makes it even more funny. So it was actually really fun traveling with him, and it also, he can watch this, that's fine. I am kind of wow, the young generation is really screwed in many ways. His sleep schedule's all messed up, and he makes content about it, so whatever. He's on these different medications for ADHD and stuff, and it messes with his sleep, and he's trying to fix it, but kind of, not really. But either way, great guy. Love to hang out with him, and that was really fun. So yeah, then we get back from LA, and it's just back into work mode, honestly, for me. Even just being away for 2 days, I like getting back into my routine, hitting my lifts. I've been focusing way more on lifting lately in terms of I'll do 4 times a week. I'll do that hypertrophy-style bodybuilding. This is a good way if anybody's interested in training overall and what I do. 4 times a week, I like to go lift weights hard. Now, these workouts have a lot of rest time, and they don't actually have a lot of volume, which means, obviously, I'm not doing tons of sets and tons of different exercises. I've experienced a lot of growth in my chest, which is an area that I was I need to bring this up this year, and it's been really working out for me. And what I do is it's very simple. It's an incline chest press machine, incline dumbbell press, flat press, and dips. That's almost all I've been doing for my chest. And I'll do a warm-up set, then 2 sets to failure there, 3 minutes rest in between. And that's been working out really well for me. And then those days when I go lift weights, I'll just walk or hit the punching bag for cardio. So it's not an intense cardio for me. It's hitting the punching bag or just doing a 10, 12-minute walk on the treadmill on incline just to get everything, just to get my steps in, get my general baseline cardio. My cardio comes from going to jujitsu or going surfing. I haven't been mountain biking as much, and literally just saying that right now, I really need to get the mountain bikes out and go. Oh, I also went to Barry's boot camp. My girlfriend goes to Barry's boot camp, and she loves it. It's this high intensity class. It's this bougie thing, and I don't hate on it because it's a workout, but I'm kind of whatever. I've been going to that once a week with her, and it's really fun. You get on the treadmill, you run. It's really fun because she goes. If I wasn't going with her, you would never find me at Barry's boot camp. But because she likes it, it's a good thing to do. Dude, if you're in a relationship, you have to especially if you're a busy person, you have to schedule some time and make that effort. So she's oh, let's try to go to Barry's boot camp this week. If I just constantly blew her off and was no, I'm gonna go do my lift. I'm doing bodybuilding today. that's not cool. So, it's a workout. Who am I to complain about going and hitting a workout? So yeah, other things I've been experimenting with is some stuff with digestive health. So I've been upping the amount of digestive enzymes I take. Why I am doing this is because there's tons of research that stress in general can like reduce your stomach acid. And that was very interesting to me. I don't think I'm under tons of stress in terms of like bad stress, but traveling, working a lot, filming, whatever it is, can be stressful. Betaine, HCl, and pepsin are the digestive enzymes that I'm taking. And then there's other ones you can take, just like a daily digestive formula. I've spoken about how I sort of fix my dairy intolerance by reintegrating dairy while using dairy digest enzymes like lactase. But overall, I'm a huge fan of digestive enzymes lately. There's even digestive enzymes that can help you digest gluten. So my suggestion is if you are somebody that's into health and wellness and you're like, oh, I'm going to have to eat some gluten, try a digest enzyme. Like they're pretty cool. But yeah, as many of you know, I'm also looking to buy a house in San Diego. Why San Diego? For anybody that knows California, Santa Cruz, where I am in San Diego, are pretty like far apart. A lot of people on the East Coast just like never grasp this concept of, because everything's so close over there. It's like, you got to get on a plane for an hour to get to San Diego. Obviously, Austin, aka Organic Tarzan, is in San Diego, but overall, it's just way better for content. There are gyms that I can film at there. There are other content creators down there, and we can build out an amazing studio down there. I want to have a really good studio, crank up the podcast where I'm having guests on, just do some really fun stuff down there. I do like surfing down there more than up here. Santa Cruz has amazing surf, but it gets very, very crowded, and it's cold. It is what it is, but I don't mind surfing up here. I love it, but I enjoy the surf down there more. The surf culture down there is more fun. And like I'm not like a pro surfer and I have no aspirations to be. So I just like going surfing, having fun with my friends. And San Diego just works for me. My fiance has some family down there. We want to like start our life, like get a house, have kids. And even up here in the Bay Area, man, like it's not like the houses in San Diego are cheap by any means. But what I would spend up here would not get me nearly what I can get down there. So looking towards doing that, and that's a whole thing, man. That's crazy. That's just sort of an update. Let me know below if you guys like these sort of updates. And let's dive into the questions you have left below. Let's get to it. Brendan, it's late at night and you haven't hit your protein goal, but it's late. What do you do? Do you sacrifice your sleep? I think they're saying because of, digestion and eating right before bed, or would you get your protein in? Overall, what I would definitely do is eat some protein pretty late at night. I know that they say, optimal is, don't eat like 2 hours before bed. I oftentimes break that rule. And I was just talking about in the intro about how I'm doing some digestive enzymes. What you could do is if you want to get some protein, and I wouldn't recommend going in and having like a huge meal right before bed, but if you are a little bit below your protein goal and you want to have like a yogurt bowl with some whey protein in there or a little protein shake or even a small amount of meat, what I would do is get some of those digestive enzymes, pop some of those because that will help your body digest proteins faster. And I would hit that 20, 30, 40 grams of protein, honestly. I think hitting your protein goal is better than not. Now, if I was doing a cut, obviously I would probably just skip that protein and go to sleep because you are ingesting more calories. Yes, is it good to hit your protein goal? Always, but if it's late at night and you haven't hit it and you're doing a cut, you could probably let it go. But if you're not doing a cut, and for most people, you should probably get that protein in and maybe try throwing in a digestive enzyme before you eat. Brendan, what do you think about wearing a hat all the time? Does this cause balding? Largely, this is a myth. What hair loss is going to come up to is basically a multitude of factors, mainly being genetic, and then how your body expresses dihydrotestosterone. So things I do think would work for hair loss are rosemary oil, which naturally blocks DHT. You would apply this to your scalp, not taking it orally. I'm talking about applying it to your scalp. And then on a bigger level, you could try the gel. I believe it's finasteride gel or whatever, like foam finasteride. Again, a topical application of that. Those could be beneficial for blocking the DHT in the scalp. Now, wearing a hat all the time, I don't think would mess with your hair in terms of like balding. But what that could do is in terms of like blocking light getting into your eyes, that could not be good. Huberman has talked about how you shouldn't be wearing sunglasses all the time, and you actually do want to get some light into your eyes. Not looking directly at the sun, but getting light into your eyes is actually key. So if you're really wearing like a hat all the time, I could see that blocking some of that. The other thing is just like vitamin D and sun exposure. My opinion, not my opinion, everybody's opinion that has a brain, your skin basically has receptors and it knows what is hitting it. And when sunlight hits your skin, there are some beneficial compounds in that. We just saw a recent 2023 paper that explored some of the anti-inflammatory benefits of getting sun on a certain area of your skin. So if I have a scratch, like when I had that scratch on my face from jiu-jitsu a few weeks ago, I was purposely getting more sun there because it aids in healing. So that wouldn't really deal with hair loss, but overall, try to get some sun without that hat, and you should be good. Brennan, can doing a fast be a good way to reset after a day of not eating well, partying, this guy said? So let's just take partying, for example. Let's say you go out and drink. First of all, this is a good protocol for if you are going to go out and drink alcohol. I really rarely drink alcohol anymore. I mean, it's down to probably once or twice per year, in all honesty. And even then, if my buddy Connor is harassing me to drink some whiskey, I will have a tiny bit, just to appease him, because he's a whiskey drinker. But I don't drink. So what I would do, and I used to experiment with this in 18, 19, 20 years old. Here's what you want to do. Before you drink, you want to take N-acetylcysteine. This is going to help your liver function, mainly the antioxidant glutathione, which is the master antioxidant in your body produced in your liver. N-acetylcysteine. You're going to want to take some vitamin B1. Vitamin B1 has a lot of research. It's in a lot of hangover formulas, and for good reason. You also want to take some vitamin C. So that's before you drink. After you drink or have a few drinks, what you want to do is take something called activated charcoal. Activated charcoal, they will give to you if you get alcohol poisoning. So if you, high schoolers, comment below, have any of your friends gotten alcohol poisoning? I remember back in high school, we had a few friends get alcohol poisoning, AJ. And they give you activated charcoal at the hospital because they know that it's a very good thing to give for basically when you get poisoned, okay? And that's what alcohol is, it's poisoning you. But you can take a very small amount, 2-3 capsules of activated charcoal after your first drink, and that will give you a lot of benefits. The next morning, you should wake up and have water with electrolytes. Absolutely. Of course, we make the best electrolytes. Use any good salt-based electrolyte. Use ours, of course. But water with electrolytes, you want to be doing that before you go to bed, obviously, that same night and just throughout the whole time you're drinking. But the most critical time is going to be when you wake up and right before bed, actually. So definitely have that. That is going to be some general stuff that will help you. There's other, liposomal glutathione can help, alpha-lipoic acid, some liver support there. That stuff will help you tons, but you don't want to be fasting, in my opinion. The next morning, it's actually going to be really beneficial for you to get some food in your body with some healthy fats and proteins. This is why many people, when they go out and drink and they're hungover, they crave just eggs and bacon in the morning, some toast with butter or whatever it is. A lot of that stuff can actually help your body. So I would not do a fast after a day of partying or bad eating. I would just try to get good food in and get plenty of food. You actually don't want to just starve yourself, especially when your blood sugar is probably in a risky condition, shall I say, after a night of drinking. Get your protein in, get your healthy fats, and try some of those supplements. Let me know how that works. Brendan, any tips for Ramadan? What would you do for Ramadan? This is something where you aren't allowed to drink water or eat, I believe, until the sun goes down. And once that sun is going to rise in the morning, you have to start it over. Yes, absolutely. Once you are allowed to drink and eat, first thing I would do, big thing of water with some electrolytes in there, for sure. No doubt about it. I would down that, and then I would start to have some bone broth. I would heat up some bone broth. Boom, bone broth, about, a little cup of it goes down. And then I would start eating. You want to be eating a mixture of protein, fats, and carbs. I'd be eating eggs with cheese, calorie-dense foods for sure, because you only have a small feeding window. Eggs with cheese, a full meal of steak, potatoes, rice, some veggies, something like that. It's almost like a bulking vibe where after you eat that, I'd be taking digestive enzymes as well because your digestive enzymes are lower in the evening. After you eat that, I would definitely try to be sipping a protein shake because you're probably going to start to have to go to bed in a few hours, but be sipping on that protein shake, really filling yourself up, man, in all honesty. And then after I would be done with that protein shake, I would get some ginger tea and I would have some magnesium with that. I would have some theanine and then I would go to sleep. I would set an alarm so I wake up slightly before that sunrise because it gets cut off again, right, where you can't have water or food. So I'd try to wake up about an hour and a half before sunrise. First thing, again, big hydration with electrolytes. big, man. You got to go in there, including even some juices, like some orange juice could be a good idea here for some vitamin C, even some more hydration and minerals from that. And then I would start eating again, similar to what we just did, eggs, cheese, leftover food from the night before, like a full-on meal. Be sipping that protein shake right until that cutoff. Whenever they say be sipping water, protein shake, and that protein shake's gonna hydrate you too, because hopefully you're using whole milk or coconut water or something like that. And then take some supplements with that as well. I'd be taking, something like Food of the Gods, multi-mineral, beef liver in there. And then I would cut that off. Boom. And then you got to go fast throughout the day. As far as like training hard, you might want to tailor back some of the training there, or else you will get extremely hungry. I wouldn't be doing like very hard weightlifting, but you can definitely still lift and exercise. You're going to be fine. Human beings have gone a long time doing extended fasts. So with all the nutrients that you'd be able to get in the evening, you should be good. Brendan, I have constant gut issues, and I've gone to my gastroenterologist and done blood work 2 times with them. They say nothing's wrong with me, but I have tons of gut issues. What should you do? Yes, here's the deal, man. We just talked to a guy in the store who had a carton full of Dr. Pepper, and him and his wife were obese. Great people. I'm not like dissing. They were obese, okay? And they were buying enough soda that a family could drink for a whole year. And this guy said, listen, man, I go to my doctor and my blood work's good. Yeah. Listen, we have sick care in this country. If you go to your gastroenterologist and you do blood work with them, they're not going to find anything wrong, most likely, but there could be something severely wrong with you. Right off the bat, you should be doing a gut panel, a gut test, which isn't a blood test. It is literally called a stool test. You mail in your shit to a lab. I do this once every few years. I just got it done with my functional medicine doctor. My doctor is Dr. Justin Marchigiani, justinhealth.com, I think is what he is. And it's expensive, man. Like, I'm not going to bullshit with you. Doing lab work and having him interpret the results and stuff is not cheap. You can order these tests yourself. Like, it's called a GI map test usually, I think is the one that he uses. There's a few companies that do this. From there, you get a whole picture of what's actually going on in your gut. All the different types of bacteria. Do you have any parasites? Do you have H. pylori? Do you have Cryptosporidium, a common parasite in the United States and in tropical regions, whatever? There are so many things that we could find out that are going on in your gut that could help you that your gastroenterologist, unfortunately, is not going to even see from a blood test. And they're probably just not, it's horrible, man. The system's really messed up. It's frustrating. It's one of the things I'm passionate about. And here's the truth that maybe nobody will want to tell you. I don't know why, but you're going to have to save up some money, and you're going to have to go to a functional medicine doctor that specializes in this stuff, where you can say, hey, I want to do a GI map test, and they'll mail it to you. You can do the GI test yourself, and then the results will go to a functional medicine doctor, and they will interpret them. That's what you have to do. Brendan, what do you think about EDDIE ABBEW? EDDIE ABBEW is this dude who's big on TikTok, big on various platforms, and he honestly talks about a lot of the stuff that I talk about. How ultra-processed food is horrible. However, when I made a video recently, because I briefly looked through his content, saw some of his videos, and I was like, hey, this guy's awesome, man. He's, doing his thing. But then some people pointed out some stuff that I do disagree with. He'll say stuff like whey protein is like ultra-processed food. You shouldn't eat whey protein. That's just false. Now, if he's saying the normal whey protein you would buy at like the store has a lot of additives that kind of make it, not great, I agree with that. Of course, we have our Santa Cruz Paleo Whey with no gums, no stabilizers, no artificial flavors, sweeteners, whatever. But that's like kind of not what he's saying. He's just saying like protein powders are bullshit. So that's kind of weird. I do think real food's better than protein powder. But I've seen some videos where he's basically saying a calorie deficit or like calories aren't, like real. That's just completely wrong. I think a lot of holistic health influencers don't want to admit this. But you could lose weight just eating McDonald's. You could lose weight eating Red 40 seed oil filled food that I hate. Do I think this would be a good idea? No. Do I have research to show that it wouldn't be a good idea? Yes. Why wouldn't it be a good idea? Number one, you're going to make life so hard for yourself if you're not eating a nutrient-dense diet with enough protein and you're trying to lose weight. Can it be done? Yes. Is it going to be extremely difficult? Yes. Will you have more headaches, immune system issues, gut dysbiosis, hormone issues if you eat a bunch of those foods? Yes. Will you have potentially depression because there's increased inflammatory biomarkers in people with depression? Yes. But I think it's still disingenuous to say if you just ate one Twinkie every day, would you gain weight? No, you wouldn't. You would lose weight. So and I don't think it empowers people to tell them that like calories don't matter. Calories do matter. How stupid would it be for me to tell people if you just eat exactly what I eat, for example, you would lose weight? Like I eat a pretty rich calorie diet because I do so much activity. So it's like if you were trying to lose weight and you tried to copy exactly what I do, and maybe you were, let's say you were, not my size and you weren't doing as much activity, well, then you might gain weight eating, all the healthy fats I do and stuff like that. So I think that's BS, but I do like that he goes into stores over there in the UK. He talks about how bad processed food is. He advocates a healthy lifestyle. Look, guys, here's maybe one of the most important things I'll leave you with. You do not have to agree with everything somebody says to be a fan of them or to learn from them. And this has become a poison in the minds of so many people in the United States. And honestly, it started to happen with Trump, right? People like saw this dude Trump, who I disagree with so much of what that guy says, okay? But it came to this thing where people went, if I disagree with one thing this individual says, I hate them, and nothing they say, I'm even going to look at. And this became a thing, man. This is like the cancel culture thing. Somebody would be like, oh, you think Eddie Abbew's good? Yeah, kind of. Do I agree with everything he says? No. Like, I'm a fan of TNF, and, I even like some stuff that the Plant Slant says. I like some stuff that Paul Saladino says. I don't agree with everything those dudes say. But you can still sort of be like, yeah, they say some good stuff. So people really need to get that through their head, man. You don't need to agree with everything somebody says to learn from them. Take the bits that you know and help you, and then proceed. Brennan, I have high blood pressure, and he thinks it's because he was in the Marines recently, so it's like a high-stress environment. He's been trying to live healthy recently, but he still has high blood pressure. What would I suggest? So what I definitely would suggest is make sure you're getting enough magnesium. Magnesium has been shown to help with blood pressure. So you should probably do a little bit more than what I recommend. I mean, if I were you, I'd probably be doing like 200, 300 milligrams of magnesium glycinate every single evening. And honestly, the next thing I'll tell you is completely free. Everybody can do it. It is meditation. There are tons of studies on meditation helping with a myriad of things, but blood pressure is one of them. Here's the deal. People get scared by that word meditation. Bro, I just mean set a timer for 10 minutes. Breathe in deep through your nose. Breathe in deep. Just try to do like 6 breaths. That's like a new thing I'm starting to do, like 6 breaths. What does that mean? I'm going to do 6 deep breaths, but I'm actually going to sit there for 10 minutes because you end up sitting there for longer. Try that and walk more. Do long walks, 30, 40-minute walks. Maybe if you could do 2 of those per day, you'll probably see that blood pressure come down. That's what I would do if I were you. Brennan, would you consider making your own Santa Cruz Paleo protein bars or Santa Cruz Paleo pre-made protein shakes? So I would definitely consider this. Here's the deal. To make a pre-made protein shake, I haven't found a way to do it without stabilizers, gums, ingredients that I'm not a huge fan of. When you look at almost any pre-made protein shake, you'll see guar gum, carrageenan, other preservatives like sodium benzoate, because these things sit on the shelf. I mean, think about this, man. If you take your protein, right, pour your thing in there in your shaker bottle, mix it up. If you leave that in your car for 2 days, how's that thing going to smell? It is putrid. It is bad. And you know what? That's honestly not a bad thing. Like, real food goes bad, okay? I am totally down to explore making a protein bar or making, something like a pre-made protein shake. But honestly, bro, it's so easy for me to take a scoop of protein, throw it in a protein shaker, pour some milk in there, or it's already in there, shake it up and drink it, that it hasn't been like on my list of things to do. I mean, why couldn't you just bring some, like a coconut water and a scoop of our whey is absolutely delicious. Coconut water and a scoop of the horchata or something like that, absolutely amazing. So that's honestly what I would do. Way Better Bar had some good protein bars. I know it's dealing with some manufacturing issues, and he's fixing them. He's redoing the formula. Those were good. But I'll look into it, man, but no promises. Brennan, I train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu just like you. What do you do after practice to shower? Why he's asking this is there are basically skin diseases, skin funguses you can get from the mat. Ringworm is common, staph, all this stuff. So you are told if you do grappling to shower right after. You don't want to go to a grappling practice and then not shower after. That's really how it can develop. So there are a lot of soaps marketed towards this, as he mentioned. Defense soap is one of them. One of the active ingredients there is tea tree oil. What I use is Dr. Bronner's tea tree oil, or I just use normal Dr. Bronner's. With hot water and a soap like that, you're going to be fine. And I have never gotten staph. I have never gotten ringworm. And it is because after I practice, I go home and I shower with hot water and soap everywhere. everywhere. You get sudsed up to the neck. So that's when I will sometimes use like a natural shampoo, like a Base Body Works. Yeah, you want to be clean after grappling for sure, but Dr. Bronner's does the trick. I haven't looked at the ingredients in Defense Soap, but tea tree oil is their active there. You can get Dr. Bronner's tea tree oil. You're going to be fine with just a good soap like Bronner's. Brendan, what are your thoughts on the drink Celsius? Man, they have really swept the nation, dude. Everybody's drinking their Celsius. Listen, this is another carbonated water with artificial sweeteners, and then they throw some other vitamins in there, right? Guys, it's just stupid. Look, what you're way better off doing is if you like a pre-workout, get a pre-workout, man. Get a good pre-workout, throw it in some water, and that's going to be way, way, way better for you than Celsius. And you're also spending how much on Celsius? $2 per little can? It's dumb, guys. All these drinks are almost the same. Like, I could break down every single one. It's carbonated water, artificial sweeteners, artificial flavors. That's what most of them have in there. The benefit you're experiencing from it is some B vitamins and caffeine. That's really what it is. You can get that from other sources. I'm not against B vitamins. I'm not against caffeine. Do I think you need to drink Celsius? No. Is it the worst thing ever? Is it better than a soda? Yeah. So I'm not a big fan of it. What do you think, though? Brendan, would you ever surf a big wave like Jaws or Nazare? If not, what is the biggest wave you would surf or have surfed, all that? I would definitely not surf a wave like Jaws or Nazare. And you know what? I have friends that do. One of my friends, Tanner, you've seen my videos, Beach Cowboy, he surfs Nazare, he surfs Mavericks, he surfs Jaws. It is so difficult and insane and takes so much training. I will just never get there. You'll never see me out at Jaws, Nazare, or Mavericks. I can guarantee you that. And the crazy thing is, and why I actually have a lot of respect for it, is because I do surf waves that are decent size if you're just a normal person who doesn't surf a lot. I have surfed some waves that, you know, a normal person would say that's a 10-foot wave, that's a 12-foot wave. Surfers would say that's an 8-foot wave because they measure waves differently. So I've surfed some 8-foot waves, you know, stuff like that. I've surfed at Ocean Beach, San Francisco on a day that was probably, you know, 7 to 8 foot. And it wasn't that fun for me, in all honesty. Like, there's adrenaline and you get stoked and, like, it's crazy, but it's not really that fun. Also, from those experiences, which I've had many experiences surfing, you know, 6 to 8 foot waves and just getting, you know, destroyed. I could see myself someday surfing a, you know, 10, 12, you know, 14-foot wave, something like that. But I'm never going to be surfing the actual, like, big wave surfing stuff. It is so difficult. Taking a 8-foot wave on the head, I could not imagine what taking a wave 5 times that size would be like. Again, it requires a lot of training. I get how people can get there and that can be fun for them. But for me, man, I just want to surf my, you know, 5-foot waves and have fun and just shred. What about you, though? Do you surf big waves? All right, guys, that is it for this week's episode. I appreciate you guys checking in with me, leaving your questions below. Let me know if you like this sort of new format of me yapping a little bit at the beginning on just what's going on in my life, and then sort of getting into the questions below. As you may have seen on social media, I am running for president of the United States, and that is real. I want to be president of the United States. Do I think I'll win? Of course not. Do I think it will raise a bunch of awareness? Yes. So we're going to start to do some really fun stuff with that. And if we can make an impact in the health of this country, and if we can get in the ear of whoever becomes the next president of the United States, I think we have made a big change. And maybe someday down the line, maybe I will, you know, become president. That's oftentimes how it works. They run, they get a little bit of, you know, clout, and then, you know, maybe the next election cycle, we actually make an impact. I think our country is really messed up in many ways, and I think health is a huge aspect, and it's completely overlooked. Our 2 candidates are unhealthy as hell. So we need to change that. If you're with me, let me know below. Let's rock.